Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I'm going to do a voiceover. I lost my audio. But today I'm going to show you guys how to build a small or basic aquaponics system. Right now you need a pump. So I got an electric pump. This is about 950 gallons. I recommend you go as big as you can afford. Right now my system, I have about 1400 gallon per hour. Then I use a reducer right here that fits on top, or a coupling that fits right on top of my pump. One side is threaded, one side is not. So screw that onto the pump and check it out. Make sure it's not too tight. You don't need to break it. You want to not glue that part so you can take it off in case your pump breaks down. You need to do some maintenance on the system. It's easier to take it out, or you can put a union. I recommend you bring that to the hardware store, that pump to the hardware store, so you can find out what size fits easier. Then at one point you're gonna have to reduce that. So I do have my 1/2 inch pipe there, and I got a reducer. It goes from 1 inch down to 1/2 inch. So I'll just put that in the pump. I don't glue those at all. I don't glue anything in my system right now. I just make sure they're all tight. Then I got my pipe. It's about 3 feet long. So right there you can see the pipe. I got two 90-degree elbows that I use for this system. I recommend you buy some elbows, or you can calculate, draw it out how much you need on a sheet of paper, take some measurements down. I could tell you the truth though, buy extra pipe and buy extra fittings just in case you need. So right there's my grow bed I'm going to use just for demonstration purposes. Like you saw in the back, I have grow beds back there. They're black. They're from Home Depot. They're with the concrete mixture, large. I got a uniseal right there I'm showing you guys. I'm going to use my cordless drill with the hole saw maker to drill that. I bought a regular hole saw. Mine's Ryobi. It's about an inch and an inch and a quarter. I'm going to use to drill the hole for the uniseal. There's my bell siphon. It's going to go right in there. And you want to select what area you want that bell siphon to go. Make sure it doesn't interfere with any of the supports that you're going to use for your grow bed. And you want it sturdy enough, so because that bell siphon was going to wiggle a lot. Right there's my grow bed I'm going to use. I'm going to drill it from the inside. You drill it from the inside out. There's a drill bit head on there. You want to go ahead and drill forward in that direction so you can drill through it. Okay. I'll drill it from the back. I was trying to get a good angle on the camera, but both ways you drill, you can still drill, no problem. Just if you drill this way, you're gonna have to sand down the inside to get a good seal. Good thing about the uniseal is it is really good. So take a note. See that drill bit? Once it goes through the inside and it pierces the inside, you want to stop and then put the drill in reverse. Really important, you put the drill in reverse. So I'm drilling in reverse now. That's so I don't damage the inside of the grow bed. So if you drill it forward, you'll like chop up and chip up all that inside, and then you won't get a good seal. So always drill in reverse when you're drilling for your system, for your plastic parts on your aquaponics or your hydroponic systems. And then there's a uniseal. You can see the big fat part is on the top or the inside of the grow bed. The smaller part goes through the grow bed. You want to have it that position, not backwards. That way you can have a good seal on there. So you can see, I'm going to show you the seal. Then the inside of the grow bed is bust up. You want to sand it down. There you go. Dip it in water. That's the first tip, right? Make sure you dip that in water. It helps lubricate that seal so they can go into that Tupperware. So you want to move it around and push it through. Get as much support as you can. You can see. Make sure it's in the inside of the grow bed going out. See that? The thick part is in the inside. Then it'll go to the skinny part to the outside of the grow bed. Make sure it's pushed all the way through, so you have a good seal. It's really important, or that thing will leak. Alright guys. Yeah, I lost some of my audio earlier. Right there you can see the seal again. Then there's a bell siphon. Bell siphon will sit right on top of that uniseal, as you can see right there, just like that. And then there's a drain. This is 3/4. Recommend make sure you get the uniseal that fits that drain, the drain pipe. So I got a 3/4 because I'm using a 1/2 inch valve in the top. If I was using a 1 inch, then I would go 2 inch drain. You always go twice as big, okay guys? Twice as big from what you're using that will bring water in. And then make sure you have a valve on the top to slow that water down. So you can see that I'm going to go ahead and lube my pipe, my PVC pipe with water. It's really important. When you lube that up, it'll slide through easier. I have some more tips again. I'll show you later in the video. There's another tip I have, but this next tip, lubricate that thing, at least use water. And then if you go this way, you'll pop that seal right out. So try your best not to go that way, that's backwards. So I'll take out that for demonstration purposes, lube it up again. Then you want to go from the inside out, and that way that seal won't pop out. And then just watch your hand when you're pushing it in so you don't get cut from the tip of your pipes. Okay, once again, I'll lube it up. Lube it as many times as you want, guys. Keep that pipe and the seal lubricated. You can support it like that, push it through a little bit, twist it, whatever you can, do what you can to try to get it in. It's kind of hard. As you see here, I'm going to struggle with this seal right here. The uniseal is a very good seal. Other seals I recommend you use, which is easier, just drill a hole and then tighten them down, and they have some gaskets. Yep, leave a comment if you want me to look that seal up and I'll let you know what kind it is. I use that also in my aquaponics system. Just easier for me than struggling with the uniseal here. Right on. Okay, you see I took the pipe back out because I'm like, oh man, this is really hard. So I'm going to take some WD-40, is another tip. Put some WD-40 on that seal. Slide that pipe through. Make sure you clean that out. Look at the tip. You can stand on the tip so it's like a little chamfered edge. You guys can see that right there. It's like a little edge. You just sand it down so that it's easier to go in. You don't really have to, but as long as you lube that seal, it'll still go through. If you put WD-40, it'll go. Look at that, pushing down. It's really hard. So you're gonna struggle if you do it this way. Just letting you guys see this part. See how much struggling I'm doing. Struggling real bad to try to get that in, but worth it in the end, right, guys? So I'll tell you what. You take one of those elbows with a pipe right there, that drain pipe I have, pop it back on the top this way, hang off the edge of a table or something. That way you can get some leverage on it and you won't hurt your hand now. And watch this, push right through. Bam. The only thing I recommend doing, take a permanent marker or something, you mark that pipe how high you think you want it to go up on your grow bed. See that? Now that pipe is through. So you want to push it in as much as you can. Leave that WD-40 on there. Look at your grow bed and see, okay, how high do I want this water to go up? See that? That's how high I want it to go up on that one. But my cinder won't be that. It will be just a little bit higher than that, about an inch higher than that drain. An inch or two is what you want to be at. You don't want to be too much, or else it'll be too far from the roots. The water will be way down low, and you won't be getting any water to your plant. So an inch or two is good enough. That's what I have it outside. Yep, I put the drain about that high. Usually my drain pipe is about 6 to 7 inches from the bottom to the top of that. Then you choose whatever tank you want. I'm just using Tupperware for demonstration purposes. This will actually work, but that Tupperware will bow out later on in time. So you want to use something sturdy. You can use an aquarium or one of those ponds I have in the back. Those are by Tough Stuff. That one right there on the left side or the right side of me, that is a 75 gallon. There's my 950 gallon pump. So you just place that in the bottom of your tank. Make sure all your connections are there. Grab your pipe, push them down. I just dry fit my stuff. If you have one of those pipe cutters from Home Depot, the PVC pipe cutters, get the biggest one you can. You get a 4-inch, 3-inch, whatever. Get the biggest one you can. Just make sure you can cut from a ½ an inch up. There's my pump. It's all connected. I didn't glue nothing. You just pop that in there. In between that, you can put a T-fitting, and you can also put another valve going in there to put for like a little swirl filter. That's where I'm putting my swirl filter right there on the left side. You can see it. I just pipe that in with a little T and a valve. You can control the flow to that filter, and you can cut it off if you want to stop that. You put a valve right there too. You can lower the flow to your system on the top of your grow beds. It's important. Sometimes it won't drain properly. If the water's too fast, it will keep filling up and it'll stay and it'll keep draining, and the water will just stay up and just rise slowly until it overflows. Right there's my bell siphon. You can see it's all glued down, ready to go. There's a 2-inch on the top, 2-inch cap, 2.5-inch coupler down into a 2-inch, and then you drill holes. That one's a fancy one. I got that at my aquaponics store. Great guys over there. They help me out all the time. Right, this video is not sponsored, by the way. But that's where I got this one. I recommend you use white PVC over the black ones. They last longer and they're heavy. They stay down. I really like this bell bell siphon kit I got over the Aquaponics store here in Hawaii. It works really well. It was worth the money. Reliable. That's one I made it earlier. I still have some running in my system right now. Once in a while it'll keep draining, so I have to shake it up and move it around just to clear that drain inside. Then you're gonna need some kind of basket. That's what I got from the Aquaponics store again. That's the kit they have. It comes with a basket, or you can get any one of those baskets you'll see with same kind of holes in it. You just have to cut the bottom out. Use your pliers and cut them out. Snips. Wire snips work great on that. The wider the better, so you can put your hand in there. But right there's where the bell goes, right over that drain pipe. See me twist it around. I always twist it around to make sure that bottom is clean. You want to put a basket around there so no roots and cinder or grow media will get into that drain and plug that thing up. So that's the basic system right there, guys. That's all you need. You can put any kind of tank, a pump, electric pump, solar if you want, and then add water for aquaponics. You add some water, some fish, cycle that system out. For hydroponics, hey, use some nutrient-rich solution. I recommend that those clear Tupperwares you don't use. I tried using that at the beginning, they were blowing out. So it's better to spend some money and get the right parts, guys. It's important. Otherwise, you'll keep spending money. I mean, if you cannot afford that, yep, you can use that Tupperware, double the Tupperware, and then put a lid on top, and tie the lid down, and then drill a hole so your pipes can go through. That's another way you can do it. You want some support on that Tupperware right in the middle of those Tupperwares. They'll bow out. All right, so you can see I'm going to fill up the system with water. If it was hydroponics, like I said, you would fill up with some nutrient-rich solution. Then you can just put some foam in the air, drill some foam in the top, drill some holes, use some net pots. You can see my other pool noodles. In my other videos, I use pool noodles instead. I use net pots and pool noodles. Those work really good for me. I recommend that. Check out my other video using the net pots or growing lettuce in net pots. So yeah, when you're filling up your tank, you want to fill it up as much as you can first. I would fill it all the way up. You'll see in my later, I'm going to try to fill it up again later in the video. So I'm going to take out the drain down here in the bottom, just holding it. Make sure this drain is adjusted the way you want though, your height. You want it above the water level so you can see it drain. If you go straight down, it splashes all over, but if you kind of break it up, it works better. I found out that if I go straight down like that, I have drain problems on that bell siphon system. I always have to turn it at a 90 degree on the bottom. Once I go to 90 and then a 45, it works great. If I have it straight down later on, what you'll see is that I'm gonna have drain problems. The thing will keep, my bell siphon will keep draining and it won't stop. So my water level will stay up. So if it drains, it won't stop. It'll stay up at that level, and then your roots will get flooded and like waterlogged, and your plant will die. So you can tell that there's problems. You want to check your aquaponics system every day. Make sure everything's going good. Make sure you're getting water in and water out. Most important is make sure that drain goes down and stops. You see later on, you'll see the water flowing, and then when I get the system adjusted right, you'll see it stop. Well, as you can see on the top, I didn't put a valve, but I recommend you put a valve up there so you can slow the water down. See, look, I'm running out of water. I'm gonna have to fill this up again. So that's another thing. You want to check I check my system every day. Every day I add water. I've got about 12 grow beds on my system, or 11. Then you put the bell right on top. Check this out. Put the bell right on top. Once you put it up, the water will go in. It'll start creating a vacuum as it drains from that top of that pipe. Creates a vacuum, and it'll push that water down. There you can see in the little bit on the part where the drain is, you see it's already draining. The vacuum's already made. But you see the water filling up. Now watch the level. It's kind of staying the same, and it's still draining. That's why you would want to put a valve on the top to slow that down. So it's a good idea before you put your media in. I recommend you do this. You set up your system just like this, but put it on the ground or wherever you want it. Make sure you support it good. Put bricks. I put bricks in 2x4 sideways to hold that grow bed. And another tip is make sure that bell siphon is not in the way. Before you drill, do your frame first, and then put your grow bed on top and take good measurements on there. If you go to Home Depot, they'll cut the wood for you guys, and sometimes they charge you, sometimes they don't. Cost like 5 cents a cut or something like that. It's really cheap and quicker. You take good measurements. You go there, they'll cut it for you, and I use wood screws to screw my wood together. and they're probably about 1.75 inches long, probably a number 8 or number 10. Right there you can see my pump there. See, it's running out of water, so yep, I'm gonna have to fill that up again. So if you see that, you look at that system, the pump's down low. Now some people will elevate the pump, they'll put a little brick in there, pop the pump up. It's a good idea. If you're using a filter, put the filter up a little bit, put a little small brick or something in the bottom and put that filter on top, so that if you run into problems like evaporation or you have a leak, the water will come down and it'll stop at that area. It won't go down lower. That's important if you have aquaponics like on my system, so your fish don't run out of water, just lay there and die. That's a little backup I have. It's pretty smart. You can see the bell, check it out, it's draining. Now I have to unplug the system. There you go. See, it flows down in there. If you put a coupler, it increases the area there and it'll drain even better, but that will work also. See, it'll just drain down, and now it's going to stay there. The water level will stay there. If you adjust it right, you'll see it stay there. Then when you put the bell, it should drain all the way down and it should stop. So there you can see it's draining. There, the water level is going down. If you have it adjusted right, it's going to go down like this and stop. Just remember that. So yes, I had to unplug it because I have no valve on there. So a good advantage of this kind of system is that the water will go down and then your media will come out. They don't dry up all the way, but your roots will get oxygen, and the roots of your plant, they need oxygen to live. So if you're using my floating raft system like I have, then I always put an air pump. You put an air pump in there, you pump a lot of air with an air stone. That takes the place of the oxygen that they need. Another tip, guys, on this, on the bottom of your tanks and the inside of your tanks down there where you put your fish, run some air, as much air as you can. Aerate the water, and all that air will go to the fish and then go up into the roots of your plant. That really helps out, keeps the fish happy. If you're using tilapia like a lot of air. If you don't have enough air, they get lazy and they stay on the top. They won't eat, they grow real slow. So check out the bell. See that top of the bell, the hole is, that's as low as the water will go. So you want to keep that in mind. If you want a little bit deeper water, then you make your hole a little higher. But that's where the water will go down and drain. Look, see, now the water is going real slow. It's having a hard time draining. Only time it'll drain is if I unplug this pump or put a valve on the top to regulate the water that's coming inside. It's really important. There you can see the bell siphon. I'm going to unplug it and show you how it works. The water will go down and stop. There you go, the water's draining. As the water drains down, you'll notice you'll break the vacuum and it'll stop draining, which is important. You have to have some way of air to get in for it to break this vacuum seal. So when you're designing your T's for your drain, remember that. That's why you have a T and the top is open. If you use an elbow for a drain, when you're going from one tank to your sump tank, it's going to suck all that water out all the way to the bottom of that drain pipe. So you want to make sure you use a T and not an elbow in your drains. There. Choose whatever media you use. I use black cinder. It was cheaper than the regular ceramic ball grow media a lot of people use. Those grow media are pretty good. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I haven't used it myself because they're kind of costly over here. Probably cost $30 a bag. Whereas my black cinder that I use, I buy black cinder at Home Depot. That costs only like $5 a bag, $5.99, somewhere around there. But that bag compared to the other one, the other ceramic balls, a big difference in price. So I'm trying to keep my costs down, and right now the plants really like the black cinder. Black cinder versus a raft, they like the black cinder the most. Lettuce, on the other hand, you guys want to grow lettuce, use a floating raft. I did try it in the black cinder. It grows faster in the black cinder, and then once you put it into the floating raft, they will grow, but you need an air stone. You put an air stone in the floating raft for that lettuce, it'll grow really good and they grow really healthy. They'll catch up to the lettuce grown in the black cinder and run. There you go. See the water's draining now, and then it'll break the vacuum seal. There's another tip I have for you. You can use that black cinder versus the grow media. The grow media just looks nicer and it's a lot cleaner. Black cinder, you guys got to wash a lot of times, rinse it out a lot, or else your water will get dirty. You see some of my aquaponics videos, you'll see the water get dirty. It took like a week for that water to clear. And then I put a lot of filters in my system. I got sponge filters. You can check out my videos. Use a sponge filter. I use a Cascade 1000 to polish my water. It works really well. Just keep in mind, guys, my maintenance is that Tetra Pond filter I have right there for that bottom of that pump area. I use that. I gotta clean it out once a week, or else I start losing water flow to all my plants. You lose water flow, then the water inside your floating rafts, they heat up real quick and you start to boil your plants out there. I tested that earlier. Yeah, my plants were boiling, so keep them clean and you should have no problems. Or you can run it without, just put some kind of net or something around put a bucket with small holes just so your tilapia or fish can't get sucked up to that pump. That pump is strong, it'll suck them up. All right, you can see down there, still draining. You guys like my content, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button, guys. Show some love, hit the subscribe. Leave a comment, tell me what you think about this. Yep, basic system. Like I said, you guys can use the system like hydroponics. You can put black cinder for your media also, and then put nutrient rich solution in the bottom, and it'll work the same way. It'll pump up with nutrient rich solution and back down. But even at that, you probably won't need an air stone for that because of this bell siphon system. It'll just drain. You just want to make sure you have that basket around that bell siphon so you'll keep the roots and the black cinder from clogging that up, because it will clog that up. But that's it, guys. Check out that video. It was great for all you new guys doing aquaponics. This is a small basic system. You can expand it to bigger tanks. My advice to you guys is get the biggest pump that you can afford. Get the valves, get the right piping, CP or PVC if you have to. Get the good pipes, get the good pumps, get good valves, or else you'll end up spending again on the top again. Like I said, use some filters on the top where the water comes down into your media. That will keep it clean. Also put a swirl filter in place. Also in line there, put a T swirl filter and a valve to control that. That really helps. And your swirl filter in the top, they have like sponge on the top. You can put that and then put some bio balls on top. That's what I do on mine. Get more media in there, biofiltration. All right, guys. Hope you guys like my content. Hit the subscribe button again, guys. Hit the like button, show me some love, and leave a comment what you guys think, or what you guys want to see. Any questions, let me know. Like I said, spend the money, get the biggest you can. I have a 75 gallon and I have a 180 gallon. I have them. My 75 is a sump, 180 is the regular tank. Oh, I got about 50 tilapias in there or more. All right, guys, take care. I'm out. Enjoy the video. Hope you enjoyed it.